Welcome back to Matter of Opinion, hour 166, day 444. It's like 2 in the morning where we are. Let's go to our second guest. He's running for city council, I believe. He's also a stand-up comedian slash political satirist slash, I think there's some DWI charges pending too. His name is Paul Cook, and here he is.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much. As Craig said, I am running for city council. If any of you happen to be in the what is going to be Ward 7 in the city of Burlington, vote for me. And feel free to stop me on the street and ask me any questions. In fact, if you happen to be, driving along in your car and you're at a red light, say, and the light turns green and you look in your rear view and you see me, do me one small favor. Go! I get so sick of people just... I'm sorry. Just had to get that out of my system. Driving can be a real pain. Was anybody around here living in Burlington this summer when all the construction was going on? I mean, they dug up the entire state all at once. It was unbelievable, I mean, every morning this summer, I got out, and 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd hear outside my window, and I didn't even live near a construction site. There was just some lunatic outside my window every morning. Drove me insane. So I took a ride in the country with a friend of mine. Have you ever noticed when you're riding in the country how the passenger kind of takes on this mutant-like form? They kind of, and I looked over, I'm like, Jesus, what has he become? And I see this bus going by me. I'm like, my God, there's a whole load of them. Wait, I've got one more for you. He took them all to some city called Charter, I guess. I don't know. And I want to correct Craig. It was not a DWI. It was a marijuana charge. But, I think that we should legalize marijuana. And there's a very good argument for that. Thank you. It's true, though. Can you think about it? DWI destroys brain cells. It destroys brain cells. It causes you all these problems. It's addictive. Marijuana doesn't destroy anything. It rearranges them, scrambles them around. It doesn't destroy anything. It's actually, it's less harmful for you. And there are so many fatalities when you're driving while intoxicated, correct?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. All right. How many fatalities do you find when you're driving with marijuana? Anyone here ever driven stoned?
No.
All right, what were you doing? 5, 10 miles an hour maybe? It's impossible to get hurt while you're driving stoned. It's a much better drug, I think. But okay, so how's everyone doing tonight?
Great.
Yeah? Well, that's what separates you and me. And I've had a pretty bad week. I've been out of work for a while. I was a former economic advisor to George Bush, so it's going to be a while before I find the job again. And I've done a couple of things in the meantime. I took a job driving a cab, but that didn't last very long. Of course, I didn't really pick anybody up. I just needed a car. Then I went to a theater, and I wanted to, add an ad for a job as the attendant. And I'm in the interview process, and the guy says, "Are you qualified?" And I picked up my resume and I went, "Yeah." So, excuse me if my eyes appear a little red. I just had sex earlier today, and I always have red eyes after sex. I think it's the mace. Sure. So I bought this book, 1001 Sexual Positions. What a ripoff that was. After position 26, it says, "From here on in, you will need a partner." And anyone here ever tried rodeo sex? That's when you get on from behind and you scream out your ex-lover's name and see how long you can hold on. How about hallway sex? Have you ever tried hallway sex? It's actually the third phase after you've been in a relationship for a while. First you have the kinky sex phase. When you first get married, everything's really cool. And then you have like the normal sex phase where everything's kind of lame. And then you have hallway sex. That's when you both walk by each other in the hallway and go, "Fuck you." You ever notice how relationships change after you've been in them for a while? When you first get into a relationship, everything's great. Anything will get you in bed. And after a while, you walk by. So yeah, want to come to bed? I'm watching the news. Oh, well, when will it be over? It's CNN. So I quit drinking, but, I still hang out in bars trying to get laid. Now when people come up to me and say, "Can I buy you a drink?" I'll say, "No, but I'll take the $3. Okay. So anyone ever noticed over the course of time how easy listening has changed when you're listening to the radio? I remember when I was a kid, easy listening used to be like the rock from hell, or excuse me, I really screwed that one. Let me start that all over again.
Thank you.
Okay, when I was younger, easy listening used to be elevator music in the Geritol Quartet, and then as I got a little older, it was what at the time was rock from hell, like the Beatles and the Stones and Elvis, and One thing that's never changed, I've noticed, though, is the DJs. The DJs always have that very mellow, monotone voice that goes up and down like that with no real influx whatsoever. And I'm wondering what's going to happen when I get a little older. Well, that was suck me, fuck me, eat me raw by septic death. I'm going to close tonight by a top 10 list. I often do top 10 lists myself, and the one that I thought was applicable since NAFTA just passed and Perot made all that flack was the top 10 real reasons Ross Perot felt that NAFTA should pass. So, starting with that, number 10, Ross was afraid his lesbian daughter would make less money on the corners in Mexico. I didn't say you had to like it. Number 9, no one in 12 years has lost a debate to a U.S. vice president. Number 8, all those Perot 96 bumper stickers are not refundable. Number 7, I can't even read my own handwriting. He's afraid that he won't come out looking as good as Admiral Stockdale did. Number 6, if he loses credibility, it's going to be much harder to piss off the country in the future. Number 5, he may have to buy a small country in order to rule it. Number 4, what if he can't buy back his credibility? Number 3, the only other show left to invade is Sesame Street, and I'm afraid Dan Quayle has beat him to that. Number 2, NAFTA? I thought you said we're giving NASA to Mexico. Never mind. And the number 1 reason Ross was afraid to lose that debate was he may lose out on Zsa Zsa next time to Larry King. Thank you very much.
Come down and sit down here and have a seat, Paul.
Well, I guess I'll sit down and have a seat.
We're going to go to Bucky Food next. Have you ever seen Bucky Food?
I can't say as I have, no.
Everything I know from gardening to tropical fish.
Well, I've always wanted to know a lot about gardening and tropical fish, so I guess I'm in the right place.
When's the big city council election?
March 3rd of next year.
March 3rd? And you have any posters up?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
I saw one of your posters, one of the prototypes, it's this picture of you smiling that says, "Vote for me, it's really keen." I think that's going to go over
No,
pretty well.
let's send Paul to City Hall, but that would work too.
It's nice. It's nice. A little semicolon in there can get some rhythm going.
Sure.
Paul Cook is probably going to be around on first night, and he's going to be at. You've been at Toast. You've been at Metronome before. You've been around town. People will see him. We're going to go to Bucky Food right now, and we'll be right back after this nice, big, huge chunk of comedy on tape. Bye.